my two dream matches, like my forever dream matches, will be Brian Danielson and Chris Hero. Those are
Oh,
the
yeah.
two people that the two people that made me fall in love with independent wrestling, and that made me realize, okay, this is the way I want to wrestle, or like the matches, the kind of matches that I want to have, or end up
Mhm.
having, or the reactions I want to create in people, were those two.
Today's guest of the Last Minute Wrestling podcast is Carlos Romo from Madrid, Spain. Carlos, we've been trying to do this forever.
I
How are you
know.
doing?
I know. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I'm excited about the future. How are you?
I'm fine. This is, I think, like the 10th time that we try to to do this
Maybe,
interview.
maybe,
Probably
maybe
even more. Who knows?
it's been quite a bit.
It's been
If it
quite a
was
bit.
if it wasn't one problem, it was the other, and
Yeah, yeah. One day I had to go to the hospital. The other day you had something to do. It was like mental.
yep,
That was terrible.
yeah.
So sorry
But
we
we
had to
made it.
postpone it.
No,
But
I'm sorry too, but we finally made it.
we finally made it. I've been watching your work for quite some time, at least since this podcast began, and
Mhm.
recently, like a month ago, a couple of months ago,
Mhm.
you posted a video about the change that you wanted to make in your
Mhm.
wrestling persona, and I
Yep.
was intrigued because you said that you wanted to show Carlos Romo in its purest form. What,
Mhm.
what 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 do you mean with that? That was interesting.
Um, it just meant I've kind of held myself back in different aspects, in
Hmm.
the way I wrestled, or in the way that I would like portray my persona or show myself. Um, because I was like so often thinking about what others think I should do,
Hmm.
and taking into consideration like so many things outside of myself, things that I couldn't control, that um I always ended up like kind of stopping myself from doing stuff I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Like, no, I'm not gonna wrestle that way if I see like these people that are close to me and do certain kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or I've asked these few people about character advice or wrestling advice, and this said this and this said that and this said that and this said that, and now I don't know what I'm gonna choose.
Hmm.
Um, and I had like ideas, and I know the person that I am, and I know the things that I like. I know loads of the things that I want to do in the ring that I kind of pushed back a little bit and held them back and only use them at a certain time or something.
Hmm.
And even if I was doing well, and I think I was having like good matches, and I was putting like my best body of work like during my singles run
Hmm.
after we split in White Wolf,
Yeah.
um, I still felt that I could do more, I could do even better. So it was like, when I'm coming back, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna, and not holding back in the sense of like I'm not doing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if I want to try and wrestle a certain style or make this like a bigger part of my arsenal, I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna try, I'm gonna want to be myself and try to like look different and dress different and see how it goes, and just basically not being afraid of failure for trying my own things, and not like still listening to advice and still taking into account what people I respect say,
Hmm. Yeah.
but trusting a bit more my gut. When I
Yeah.
did when I started wrestling in Spain, and when I got a bit of popularity in Spain, it was like all like my gut and my instinct, and whatever like felt natural to me, and that worked. And I felt like the moment I started mixing it up with, I came, basically Spain is like amateur, it's not professional.
Yeah.
So when I started wrestling professional shows, I wanted to learn from every single professional wrestler that I met along the way,
Yeah.
and obviously that helped loads. But it ends up narrowing yourself if you only take those people into account, and
Hmm.
and if you use that to enhance your ideas, that's good. But if you use that and neglect your ideas, that's where it's a problem.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
just gonna like try and do myself, be a bit more myself, trust my gut, and not be afraid of failure. If I try something that I feel it's what I want to do, and then it doesn't work, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to go down, you have to go down on your way, on
Yeah,
your terms. Yeah, that's the attitude. I mean, which is a positive things. It's kind of liberating in a way. I've had the
yeah,
chance. I've had the chance to speak with Speedball Mike Bailey about it a couple a couple of times, and he told me that basically since he has this style that is not orthodox in any way.
yes,
He told me that he just stopped caring about other people's opinion, except like a small circle of people that he really trusted, and
yes, of course.
that helped him a lot to flourish. And
Yeah, it's just that, like, obviously you're not gonna stop caring at all.
yeah,
Like there's certain people you're always going to listen to, and to me there's gonna be like probably even a bigger bunch of people, but I'm just gonna like listen to their opinions, not be like, okay, their opinions are like 100% what they need to do all the time. Like I'm gonna do me, and then I'm gonna use their opinions on what they do, on what I do and what I say,
yeah,
to make my stuff better, not try to make my stuff what they think my stuff should be 100%. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I know it. And from what I can get from your social media and this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you are trying now to mix like wrestling with punk rock, with your roots, you're in Spain,
Yeah.
with like places that you like to go. One thing that I found really cool is that you started like to promote different bars, venues of Madrid, where you basically, it's not like just about wrestling, it's about life, is that
Yeah.
like places that mean something to you. That was what I get from those videos, from those posts that you did on social media. How did you have this idea? This is great. I like it.
Well, thank you. First of all, it all comes from like a punk rock culture and kind of DIY culture. Like
Hmm.
you want to support your local places, like bars, venues, bands,
Hmm.
wrestling shows. Like I want to help use my little platform to promote the things that I love, whether they are necessarily wrestling related or not.
Yeah.
It can be a punk rock bar, it can be a band. Like I'm gonna be wearing loads of band t-shirts
Hmm.
to the ring. Like my whole gear is painted in like lyrics from bands that I like and songs that have helped me at certain times.
Yeah.
um it can be, yeah, it can be venues, it can be businesses. Like I could, for example, see like a friend that has like a cool vegan restaurant and wear their t-shirt to the ring. I just want to like help promote the stuff I love. Like when I was in a band, I wanted like to show everyone my band and my friends' bands,
Yeah.
and when I'm wrestling, the stuff I love, I always preach and be like, "Yo, watch this, you're gonna love this." And I thought, wearing my own t-shirt to the ring, like I've done it, and everybody has done it, and that's fine, and it helps sell your own merch.
Yeah.
But I feel that's more of myself if I even use those 45 seconds I take to walk to the ring
Yeah.
to show someone a band I like, a place I like, something I think deserves a little bit of support, and then like just posting a photo on social media and be like, hey, listen to this, or go to this place if you're in Madrid, or if I'm, imagine I go somewhere touring and then I get like a t-shirt from wherever I go. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, like if I like this place, if I imagine I go to UK, and then in Brighton there's like a super nice punk rock with cool ethics bar, and they give me a t-shirt, I'll walk to the room with it.
Yeah. That's so cool, and that tells a lot about you as a person, as a character, the importance of sharing things, of And yeah, that's the DIY attitude. You got to promote each other, to help out each other, and that's really cool of yours. And I'm really intrigued by this vegan restaurant in Madrid. I'm so familiar with Madrid. I've been there many times, and I would love to hear about it. So please let me know. Feel free to plug your friend's restaurant.
Okay. That's fine. To be honest, like that thing I kind of said as an example. I know
Yeah.
there's a friend working at a very good spot called Delish Vegan Donuts.
Uh-huh.
It's just like a vegan donut spot that is amazing, like huge donuts. When Mark Davis came over here,
Yeah.
he already knew about the shop
Oh.
before coming. Like he was living in the UK, knew about the shop, and he was like, "Hey, I want to go to this place. Can you make it happen?"
Yeah.
It's real good. They're just like huge donuts. They taste delicious,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's worth trying. But there's
Yeah.
like a good bunch of cool vegan restaurants in Madrid now, worth trying.
Yeah, next time I'll come there. I'll definitely drop you a line. I want to know where where I can find all those places.
Shoot me a line. I'll let you know.
Yeah, and also you said that the punk rock influence, of course, is something that you have very at heart, and like, since I'm also a music nerd, I love to talk about this stuff, and I come to as well from a punk rock background.
Didn't
And
you interview Frank Turner?
I did interview Frank
Fuck
Turner.
yeah.
Fuck
So,
yeah.
Small
the best.
Small fun fact.
Yeah.
This is the only tattoo I have. I know like my video is a bit lagging, so it's
Uh-huh.
gonna show a bit weird. But like, so it says like, don't forget your roots, which is H2O, and like a reminder of like where I'm from and stuff like that. But this end at the beginning, wait, I'm gonna give it a bit of light here. I'm gonna give the light.
Yeah.
So this little thing at the end, this rose.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's too much light. There you go.
There is like a lighthouse and a rose behind. Yeah,
so
that's a cool
rose,
tattoo.
You see the rose at the bottom?
Yes, I do.
That's inspired of the Tape Deck Heart cover album.
Oh yeah, great.
Like the cover,
great album.
So the cover art, obviously it has like a big design, but the rose underneath is basically this one.
Yeah. I know. The one from the bottom of the design of Frank Turner.
Yeah, that's basically this one.
That's so cool. Okay, so we got Frank Turner covered. Okay, tell me other bands that influenced you.
There's so many.
Yeah, I know.
I remember like Rage Against the Machine being like a big change for me when I discovered them. Because like it was at a time where I really loved rap. I still love rap loads. I used to listen to it like loads.
Yeah.
I obviously love rock since like basically I was born. I grew up in a house where like my parents would listen to loads of music, and rock was like a big part of it. And then it was like also like a bit of like the awakening of like my political being. Like I was trying to get a bit of conscious of the world, of conscience, like, and then like reading what they said and saying, I was like, oh wow. And then like bands like Gallows, they like blew my mind. Alexis on Fire blew my mind too. When I first heard at the drive-in, and I heard like a couple songs, and then there was like secondhand store in my own street.
Yeah.
And they had Relationship of Command for like 50 cents. And I bought it, plugged it on my car, and it was like, this is the best album I've ever heard. So there's many. Like I could keep going for so long.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
There's bands that I love. I now walk out. So we were saying about preaching the stuff that you love and the people you think deserve support. I started coming out to Refused, which I really love, of course. And like my latest t-shirt is inspiring Refused. My previous one was inspiring Thrice. But then I decided to change for this like new run from Refused to Straight from the Path. Yeah. Which like I really love too. And Tom, the guitarist, like a big wrestling fan. We've like exchanged shows a few times, and it was like, okay, I don't think Refused need any more publicity from me, like even if I want to use it. And it's not that I'm gonna like give any publicity to Straight from the Path. If anything, they could probably give them to me, to me.
Yeah,
but still, like I want to feel like the 2-3 people that find out about Straight from the Path because I walk out to Straight from the Path, that's a positive. And like the first time I walked out with Straight from the Path as a theme song for a show in the UK, like right after the show, I got a tweet from like someone said, if you rock with Straight from the Path, I rock with you, or something like that. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, perfect. That's
yeah, you immediately connected with the crowd because of that.
Yeah, and I know it's not gonna be like huge connections. It's not gonna be like the whole crowd listens to this not niche band, but not like extremely mainstream. But I remember when I started watching and really liking CM Punk, because he used to come out to Killstring Age. And like the wrestlers that I felt that liked the same music as I did, I both liked them more, and they both helped me discover music that it was like, if this wrestler is into it, and I'm probably going to be into it. So I want to be like, I want to be that way for new fans and younger people, like thinking about my 12-year-old self. If I find myself on a show, it's like, oh, that theme song rocks. What's that band? Or then being like, oh, this guy looks like he likes the kind of music that I like. What's he going to listen to? Or I like him more because of that. Like, that's how I felt when I was a child. And
I for example, it's the same with me. I already liked Brian Danielson, but from the chat with Frank Turner, I discovered that he is a massive Frank Turner fan, that you used to wear hoodies from Frank Turner's hoodies and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, it's not only the greatest wrestler of all time, he also has great taste in music.
I remember seeing that, like he posted some backstage picture where he was like wearing the Frank Turner hoodie, and I was like, yes, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a weird connection that music creates in this kind of stuff. I absolutely adore that. But speaking of which, since this program has a bigger audience in the United States than we have here in Europe, if you want to introduce yourself to the American audience, which matches of yours will you pick to say, okay, let's go check that? I'm proud of that work.
I would say it's funny because like obviously those are matches now that are like 2 years old, so they're still like they're still a bit like, they feel kind of weird for me to like recommend, because I know like I'm a way better wrestler than I was when I had those matches. If you want to pick like a short match, I wrestled Tony Depp in For Beyond. That's free on YouTube, and it's straight 10 minutes, like legit 10 minutes on the spot. So that's like an easy match to digest, I would say, and not long to watch. If you want to watch a bit of a longer match, it's not extremely long anyway, but it's like, I think 1650, so almost 17 minutes, something like that. It's me versus Daniel Makabe. That's a bit more, it's a bit more technical than the Deppen match. Deppen match is a bit more like fast paced, even if it has its technical bits. The Makabe match is a bit more mat based, but still, I think I don't know how to say it, like pacey enough, and not something like real hard to digest, even if it has a bit more for like the wrestling, like the mat wrestling fan, let's say. But those two are probably like the easiest. And I know they're putting up for free a match I had with Eglo Blanc in Hungary this year for Passion Pro. So that's a completely different animal. That's like a bit more of like an indie match, even if it's like not like extremely long either. It's like, I think 14 minutes, something like that. So if you want to see like 3 different styles, even within the same, like you obviously see the same, but different beats, slight differences between the matches or lengths.
Yeah.
Check those three, or if not, just watch like put Carlos Romo MV on YouTube, and you'll find a couple MVs, and you can see like some highlights if you have a short attention span.
Oh yeah. Uh, uh, who do you think is a wrestler that you had the chance to wrestle with that you feel that you learned like a lot in the ring with?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about this with Speedball. I know you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
And I was legit thinking about it like a day ago.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind. Speedball told me it was Kevin Steen to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to me, it was Zack Sabre Jr. I had the chance to wrestle for him for RevPro.
Uh-huh.
And he was amazing. Like, he had always been one of my favorites. Like, I'd always had a soft spot for amazing technical wrestlers.
Yeah.
So you can guess like why I love Bryan Danielson, why I love him.
Yeah.
And he's someone. Yeah, exactly.
It's impossible
he's
not to.
someone I had the chance to like meet before, and when we met, we had gone along, and we talked wrestling. He did a seminar in Madrid. We talked music. We talked live. We talked politics. We talked loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And he just seemed like a very nice guy, very interested in giving back to the scene and to the people like starting to grow. And I had the chance to wrestle him. And I remember like that day, I felt like sharp coming out with ideas. But it still was challenging. Like, it was like, okay, if I wasn't sharp today coming up with ideas, and if I wasn't feeling that fresh,
yeah,
like I would have felt overwhelmed.
Okay.
And then like every little thing he does or he plans, like with the stuff he plans or the way he approaches a match,
yeah,
there are so many little things that people don't understand or don't see when you watch his matches. And obviously I'm someone that has watched him many times and has studied him and has broken down matches and tried to pick the structure and the things he does and the spots and and still when I wrestled him, some little things it was like, oh shit, okay, that's why you do this and that's why you do that, and that's interesting how you approach this. So yeah, it was really a mind-blowing experience.
Yeah, I can see that. And now with the open door, forbidden door, that was like which is really a revolving door. Who knows what other opportunities may come your way.
I know.
I mean, is there any chance that we will see you somewhere like on AW Dark or I don't know, on a big card here in Europe? Any chance that we would see Carlos Romo?
I mean, there's always a chance. I would really like to. I know AW has been like really hot lately, but it's something that I always wanted to do since its beginning. And if you go to interviews with myself from like a couple years ago, something like that, or I can't remember exactly when they started and when like how long how old the company is, but like from the very beginning, some people were asking me like, hey, where would you see yourself? And I was like, I think I would fit there.
Yeah.
Obviously it's harder now to fit because there's so many amazing, like they have such a big and amazing roster. But it's not like, hey, no, this is cool now, so I want to jump in. It's something I always wanted to do. I did talk about Ring of Honor and its pure division, but obviously with the changes now, we don't know what's gonna happen or where it's like gonna go. So,
but there are many Ring of Honor talents that now you can maybe have the chance to face.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like something that I said, like when I'm going to the States store, I was like, oh, I really wish I could wrestle Jonathan Gresham, Tracy Williams, but they're signed. I don't think that's gonna happen. And now, like, obviously it's super unfortunate and I hate for it to be a possibility. I would much prefer for it not to be a possibility and for all those talented people to still have their jobs. But obviously, if there's a small chance to have those matches, I'm happy if they happen.
Yeah.
The world right now is so crazy, like in terms of wrestling.
Yeah.
I was just I'm thinking the other day, and this is like a thought that comes to my mind a few
Uh-huh.
times. It's like, even like the fact that there's like a 1% chance that I get to wrestle Brian Danielson in the next 2 years
Yeah.
makes me work harder than ever. Like
Yeah.
that's something that I would never ever considered a possibility. And even if it's like a very slim possibility right now, it's good enough to be like, okay, time to
Yeah.
push. It's always time to push, but more than ever now.
Yeah, there it's, as you said, can be very slim, but there is a possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Before there wasn't.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when it was in WWE,
When I started training, there were no professional wrestlers in Spain,
yeah.
and they told us, if you wanna be a pro, go home and jerk off. This is not your place. And I thought, well, there's like a slim possibility. I'm not saying it's a big one, but it's still not 100% off. But this is kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be easy. It's not something that I think, like, if I had to bet, I wouldn't bet on it, but it can happen, and I'm gonna work to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. And speaking of which, as you said, in Spain, but in Italy it's the same. I mean, there is not so many possibilities to live with professional wrestling. How were you able so far to balance your regular life, your work life, and this kind of stuff, and professional wrestling, where maybe you have to go each weekend, you have to travel to Europe and different places? How were you able to do that?
So I was lucky to have a good office job.
Mm-hmm.
It was a demanding job. So I worked in the music industry, and it's something I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a Monday to Friday job, and even if I had to be on my phone sometimes during the weekends, I remember like finishing a match and sometimes having to run to my phone to post something.
Yeah.
It would still be Monday to Friday, so I would do like Monday to Friday, finish work Friday, go to the airport, fly to the UK, wrestle the whole weekend, get like the early morning flight on Monday, arrive from the airport straight to the office.
Oh.
It allowed me to withstand the financial burden that it's like starting to travel abroad at
Mm-hmm.
first when
Yeah.
nobody knows you, and it's an investment, and I could do that because I had that office job.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where, like, luckily we were getting more and more shows and more gigs. So it was time to make it full time. Even if it was my mentality was like, even if it's not gonna make me as much money as the office job, if I
Mm-hmm.
want to make wrestling my job, I need to treat it as such. And with
Yeah.
the savings that I have and what I earn from wrestling, even if I live um, a bit shorter on money
Mm-hmm.
or much shorter on money, if I just survive at first, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's like, with wrestling, I feel money wise it's an investment.
Yeah.
Wrestling, the first few years or the first however many fucking years it takes, and you probably read the Players Tribune Eddie Kingston
Oh yeah,
posted the
I
other
was
day.
about to mention it. Yeah.
Like it can be, for some people it's been 1 year or two in this crazy scene that we have right now, and for some people it's been like loads of year, like freaking. But
Yeah.
I feel it's an investment. Like, if you think you're a good wrestler and you think you deserve to be, you think you're like, I don't know how to say it, but you could be among the top wrestlers worldwide, and you
Yeah.
could make a living out of it, and you think like your abilities and your work will make you be able to make a living out of it.
Yeah.
I feel it's just an investment and a matter of time, and it's just being able to survive however many fucking years it needs for you to get your break. and that's how I picture it. Like, and I was talking to some friends, like, I'd much rather just survive and be traveling on the weekends and doing tours and being wrestling shows and meeting people
Yeah.
and having the time of my life while doing the job that I want to do, that earning whatever money in a job that I don't care about. It's not the music job, because the music job I really liked,
Yeah.
but like a job I don't care about and earning, I don't know, 2,000 euros a month or wherever, or 3,000 euros a month. Like, if I don't care about it, I prefer to just survive and have the bare minimum and be wrestling and be doing the stuff that I love, because I think and I trust that eventually uh, that effort and that time and that dedication will lead to wrestling solving my life, because you've seen it. And the thing with wrestling is, like, you might struggle for so many years, but if you get a contract, like, the jump in money is very big. Or if even if you become like a top independent wrestler and start saying like loads of merch, like, the moment you make that jump financially, it makes a difference instantly.
Yeah. I have a
But
very I have a very philosophical question about it. Give me your definition of success.
My definition of success is
In wrestling, sorry, what I
in
meant,
wrestling.
of course.
Okay. My definition of success would be being able to make a living out of doing the wrestling that I like in an environment that I enjoy.
Oh, that's pretty much a great definition of success. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah.
I feel that's me. Like, it's an approach I've had with life since a very small age. And to me, in wrestling, success is not winning 27 world titles. That's success too, but in a different way. And don't get me wrong, I want the first thing. But I would love to have the first thing with the second thing.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that, like, there's many companies worldwide right now. There's many different styles. There's many products. There's loads of things, and I feel there's a bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah.
And to me, success, and again, it depends on priority. For some people, might be like earning as much money as you can, doing whatever job, and be like, okay, I've worked 10 years and I'm good for my whole life.
Yeah.
For other people, could be like, no, I'll just do the weekends and I'm happy with my weekend dose of wrestling, but I'm gonna keep my job or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some other people, and I feel like for me, it's finding the spot where you can do wrestling that you enjoy, and be able to be creative and show your artistical self a little bit too, or at least not hold it back, and find a way to make a comfortable living out of it. And once you have that, because I feel like once you have that, that's where you're gonna have your best matches, produce your best work. If you're in a happy place mentally, and you're in a stable place financially, you can allow yourself to fully invest yourself without those other worries in the wrestling that you want to do. And that always translates into the product.
Yeah, man. That's great. Go for it. Go for this idea that you have. I love it. One last question before I let you plug all of your channels wherever we can find you. If hypothetically you were to travel to the US and you could choose any opponent from any promotion,
wow,
who would you like to face?
So the other day I posted a list. I know it's been done many times, but I don't give a single shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did it as well. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I posted a list because it's like, and that list I think was like 20 opponents, and I had to cut out a lot of people. So if you saw that list and you're not there, don't worry. I'll probably want to wrestle you too. Whew, I'm gonna give you probably a top 5, 6, because I really, even if they're like similar, they could probably give me like different matches between each other.
Yeah.
Alex Shelley, Jonathan
Great.
Gresham, David
Yeah.
Richards.
Oh fuck yeah! Great choices so far.
Yeah. Tracy Williams, Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia.
Okay, let me add Brian Danielson as well. Since
of course,
since,
like
of course.
I mean, my two dream matches, like my forever dream matches, will be Brian Danielson and Chris Hero. Those are the two people that. So the two people that made me fall in love with independent wrestling, and that made me realize, okay, this is the way I want to wrestle, or like the matches, the kind of matches that I want to have, or end up having, or the reactions I want to create in people, were those two. CM Punk, I found him, I first discovered him on a mainstream level. Then I obviously discovered his Ring of Honor work and all his indie stuff. So obviously, like, those are like my 3 main like dream matches of all time, of like current achievable matches.
Yes. Yeah.
But in terms of like independent wrestling, Danielson and Hero were the ones that were like, okay, this is not something I've seen before. Like, this is unlike anything I've seen before.
If and when that happens, you're gonna have to come back here and tell me everything about it on the Last Minute Wrestling podcast.
We'll have a whole hour chat about it.
Yeah, I would love to. We'll break down each portion of the match.
Every single second.
Carlos, this has been a blast. Thank you so much. It was worth the wait. And
yes, exactly.
plug all of your stuff. Plug all of your channels.
So yeah, I'm Carlos Romo PW on both Twitter and Instagram. I have a store which I just put out a new T-shirt. So check it out if you want to grab some merch.
Yeah.
And if you're in the UK, I'll probably see you soon. If you're in the US, I'll see you soon too. So just check out my social media, because I'm gonna be all over the place, and I'm gonna be blasting with where I'll be. So hope to see you show soon.
Okay. Make sure to check all of the channels that Carlo has to stay
support
updated.
The stuff you love. Don't be afraid to talk about the stuff you love.
Yeah, fucking support
Always.
it. Fucking support it. And if you have talented people around you, just give them a pat on the back from time to time.
Exactly.
Because sometimes it feels lonely. So
something I was talking with Travis Riley the other day. He used to be a singer in This Is Hell, and it's like, there's been so many times where people don't say good stuff about people they know or people they're friends with, because they're like kind of ashamed. Like, I'm a fan of my friend, or I'm a fan of a person I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, let's change that mentality. Be a fan of the, like, even if it's your friend, it's even better. Like,
yeah,
if you're gonna be fan of stuff, what better thing to be than be fan of the stuff your friends do, of people you know and people you see have a direct, like, you being a fan of having a direct impact in their life. So be a fan of everything you love.
That's the way. Carlos, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Love this chat.
Same.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.